Some people say that AI is useless. It robs us of our creativity. It makes us lazy. I'm living proof they're wrong. Because for me, AI is the difference between staying silent and having a voice. Hi, my name is Carl, and on my walk with Lewy, which is my YouTube channel where I talk about my journey living with Lewy Body Dementia, this whole notion of AI and how it is useful or not useful has really kind of blown up YouTube over the last, I don't know, few months or so as AI tools become more and more prevalent and as people are starting to use and, yes, abuse AI in YouTube content creation and just in life in general. There is a balance between what AI is intended to be, I think, and sometimes what AI ends up being. But for me, two tools that have really changed the way I work, the way I am able to function, are ChatGPT and Letterly. Now, if you're not familiar with Letterly, I'll leave a link below. It is an app that provides transcription from your voice to script. And the beauty of this particular model is that it takes the transcription and can then, through the use of AI, create whatever you would like. So for me, it doesn't just transcribe, it gets it right. I was using my phone for some of these things because now typing is really difficult for me. And the mechanics of trying to type and to use the keyboard on my computer or even on my phone, it becomes more and more of a challenge for me. But to be able to hit a button and to talk and to have the transcription and have it get it right has been a game changer for me. Using the transcription on my phone, and I have an iPhone, I found that it wasn't good enough. It missed things. It misspelled things. So I would have to go through and edit. And to me, that was just as laborious as trying to type it in the first place. So I might as well just go through and type it. But Letterly, I found, transcribes my words perfectly, including the ums and the ahs and all of those things. And then through AI, I can choose. Do I want to have it slightly rewritten so it takes out the filler words and organizes things a little bit? Do I want it to rewrite it significantly? The great thing about Letterly is I can also use it if I want to dictate a journal. There is a specific tag in there for journals. I dictate what I want, and then I press the journal button. It transcribes what I have dictated into a journal entry, which I can then copy and paste into my digital journal. Captures my thoughts, makes them coherent, makes them readable and succinct, and then puts it in my digital journal, all through my iPhone, so that I don't have to worry about trying to type it all in or trying to edit something that I've already transcribed somewhere else. It's great for Facebook posts. I can dictate what I would like. It turns it into a Facebook post. I can then copy and paste it, add whatever graphics I would like, whether I want to upload a picture or a video or a file or a link to something else. and off I go. I can do the same thing when I do messages. I can create a message through Letterly, copy and paste it, and then it's done for me. That's been a game changer for me in communicating with other people. The other thing that Letterly has allowed for me is to continue my content creation. Before I was diagnosed, I was a prolific writer and reader. I had started a blog when I first got diagnosed with Lewy Body Dementia as a way of sharing what I was going through with my family and friends and anybody else who cared to read it, and as sort of a legacy for my grandson. But as the disease has progressed, I found it more and more difficult to create, to be able to marshal my thoughts, to organize my thoughts, to come up with a coherent blog that I could share. I stopped writing it in November of last year because I just simply couldn't write anymore. It was not coming. So I just simply stopped. And that really saddened me. Anyone who is creative in any way, you know what I'm talking about. When you are forced to stop creating, it takes a piece of you. So for me, I lost a piece of myself. And it wasn't until February of this year that I started learning a little bit more about AI and what were some of the possibilities. I remembered when I was still working that I had discovered this thing called ChatGPT. Now, at the time, it was very new, and I really didn't see the value in it. I didn't see the value in it for my work, and I didn't see the value in it for my life. So I chalked it up as, oh, this is new, this is exciting, this is whatever, but it's not for me. But as I started researching a little bit on YouTube, because that's where I do most of my research now, because that's how I learn now, very visually through video, ChatGPT kept coming up, as did other models. But I was familiar with ChatGPT, so I downloaded it again, and I opened it up, and I started having this conversation, and found out that the model and the thinking behind it has changed dramatically from what it was when it first started a few years ago. And so I started asking ChatGPT, how can you help me structure my blog? These are my thoughts. I copied and pasted them into ChatGPT. How can you help me take these thoughts and structure them into a blog post? And the initial response that I got back was not great. It wasn't what I was hoping for. And then as I researched a little bit more, I learned, well, you have to give it a good prompt. It's the old GIGO philosophy, garbage in, garbage out. So all I was asking it to do was to help me write a blog post. But when I started giving it more detailed prompts, I started asking it to provide me with 3 to 5 questions from what I had pasted in there. Then the world opened up for me. I started getting questions. We started having a dialogue. I learned about providing back information to ChatGPT about who I am, what it is I'm looking for content creation, and what my diagnosis is. I put that in there, some of the challenges that I have. I also put in the back of GPT how I want it to respond to me. I want it to respond to me in a very light and humorous way, because that's how I think and that's how I interact, with encouraging but critical feedback. And that became another game changer for me. I hate to overuse that term, but the reality is, for those of us living with a disability, to have this kind of interaction with a tool that helps us regain our voice and retain our creativity is truly a life-changing event. It doesn't replace my creativity. It doesn't replace my thoughts. It helps me express them. It amplifies them and allows me to still have a voice. So before AI, my blog stopped. My creativity stalled. I was unable to continue doing what I loved to do, which was to write, which was to express my thoughts, my feelings, what I'm going through the written word. But through AI, through the use of AI, I've been able to write again. I've been able to create again. And because of AI, I'm able to actually create video content now, which I never thought I was going to be able to do. The thought of creating content, of getting a script, of doing all of those pieces. When I first started thinking about it, I said, you've got to be nuts. Listen, guy, you've got dementia. How are you supposed to do this? So I realized that through the use of AI, I could do the same thing here that I was doing through my blog. I could actually create in a whole different medium than I'd ever been exposed to before. And what a revelation that was for me. To know that through the use of AI, just the same two tools that I was using for my blog, Letterly and ChatGPT, that I could come up with ideas, that I could script them, that I could figure out how to use equipment, which equipment to get, which equipment not to get, to have that dialogue back and forth. So that leads me to the whole notion of the use of AI. And, you know, there's a prejudice that if you're using AI, you're cheating. That if you're using AI, somehow you're not being creative. And basically, I say BS to that. Now, AI is a tool, like any other tool. It can be used for good, and it can be used for evil. And we're seeing, I think, on YouTube especially, where AI is being used sloppily in some cases, where people are putting out massive amounts of content to try to cheat the algorithm or to trick people into thinking that they are this or that. That's not what this is intended for. Now, people can use this that way. There is a place for AI. There's a place for AI in the creative process. I am living proof of that. The way I look at it is it's like a wheelchair for the mind. It doesn't replace me. It helps me. It supports me. It gives me the opportunity, it gives me the vehicle to be able to continue to express myself, to continue to be able to do what I want to do, to provide information for people, to help people to the best of my ability, to communicate with you, the viewer. So no, not all AI is useless. If you've dismissed AI before, well, maybe it's time to give it another look through a different lens. Because sometimes the right tool doesn't just make life easier, it gives you your life back. If you like this content, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me personally, and it helps other people find this content. I look forward to sharing more of my thoughts and my journey with you. And until we meet again, take care of yourselves, take care of your care partners, and remember, not all AI is useless.